Amanda only wanted the soft life, but when maggots started crawling out of her skin, she realized not every soft life ends softly. Life is full of unexpected turns. Sit back as we unravel this chilling tale. Welcome to Shishi Fairy Tales. Amanda stared at the sun, then at her fruit table. It was already 2:47 p.m. The only things she had sold were 3 bananas and 1 cup of chopped watermelon. That's what her whole day looked like while TikTok girls were unboxing iPhones and booking spa dates in Lagos hotels. She looked at her mirror phone cover and sighed. God, I'm too fine for this life. Amanda wasn't exaggerating. She was naturally stunning, tall, soft-skinned, hourglass body, and a baby face that could make a traffic warden forget duty. But every time a car slowed down near her table, it wasn't to buy fruit, it was to stare, and drive off. I don't want to be admired. I want to be helped. She muttered one hot Tuesday. That same day, her old friend Jessica came walking past, glowing skin, fine wig, loud perfume. Jessica had always been dramatic, but today she was shining with something Amanda hadn't seen before, luxury confidence. Babe, I beg close this table, Jessica said. Come with me. Let me show you real money. Amanda laughed. With fruit juice all over my body. No be fruit you go day sell again, Jessica whispered. This one na hookup. Clean job. High men only. Amanda's chest skipped. She had heard about it, the private dates, the rich clients, the sugar uncles. You think I'm joking? Jessica pulled out her phone. 280k naira in one night. No stress. Just look good and behave classy. That night, Amanda closed her fruit table early. By the weekend, she had a new wardrobe, new heels, and a new name saved on her phone, Mr. Patrick, 120k naira dinner. She started slowly. Learning the code, she mastered it and became a pro in the hookup game. No loud makeup. No drama. No scandals, only soft voice, soft dressing, soft lies. It wasn't long before Amanda became the soft life babe she always dreamed of being. Along the line, she met men of class that showered her with gifts and money, but nothing prepared her for what would happen at that private lounge in Lekki. Because the night she met Chief DD, she didn't know she had just sat next to a man carrying a curse. Amanda had heard of men like him. The kind who didn't speak much but somehow owned every room they walked into. It was a Friday night, and Amanda was seated at a quiet corner of Velvet Lounge in Lekki. The lights were soft, the music was smooth, and the air smelled like perfume and power. She wasn't there to eat, she was there to be seen. That was part of the game. Amanda was now in the world of high-end private dates. She had 2 phones, one for regular calls, one for clients. Her makeup was subtle. Her dresses were clean and elegant. She knew how to look expensive, even on a budget. Then he walked in. Chief DD, he had silver hair, a spotless white kaftan, and wore dark shades at night. His shoes were shinier than Amanda's lip gloss. And when he walked past her table, everything slowed down. He didn't flirt, he simply looked at her and said, "You. Sit properly." And somehow, she adjusted her posture. "Are you always this bold?" she asked, smiling. Chief DD didn't smile back. He poured a drink, took a slow sip, then said, "I don't waste time with questions. I only make offers." That caught Amanda off guard. What kind of offer? He slid a black envelope across the table. "Open it." Inside was 750,000 naira in crisp notes. No name. No message. Just cash. Amanda blinked. "This is for what?" "If I want you, I don't rent. I invest," Chief DD said calmly. Her heart was racing. She tried to smile, but something about the way he looked at her made her skin crawl. There was no warmth in his eyes. Just silence and something she couldn't explain. That night, Amanda left the lounge with the money in her bag, but as she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, she felt like something had followed her home. Amanda had made her decision. The envelope of 750,000 naira wasn't just money, it was a test. And in her world, failing a test like that meant losing the game. So when Chief Didi asked her to join him at a luxury hotel in Ikoyi that night, she said yes. The suite looked like something out of a movie: glass walls, cold air, dim lights, and scented candles that probably cost more than her phone. Chief Didi didn't say much. He only looked at her with that same quiet intensity. Amanda played the role well. She smiled, laughed softly, made conversation where she could. But there was something strange about the air, like it was heavy. The room felt too quiet. Still, the night passed. By 6 a.m., Amanda quietly got out of bed, trying not to wake him. Her plan was to freshen up and call a ride before Lagos traffic started its usual madness. But then, her phone buzzed. 5 million naira, from DD Holdings. Her eyes nearly left her face. She gasped, screamed, jumped on the bed like someone who just won a jackpot. 5 million? She whispered to herself. God, is this what favor feels like? Chief Didi opened his eyes. Slowly, she flew into his arms with joy. Thank you, sir. Oh my God. Thank you. He didn't smile, just nodded. Amanda, still giggling, asked softly, so, when will you want to see me again? Chief Didi adjusted his white robe, looked her straight in the eye and said, I'll call you when I need you again. There was something about the way he said it. Cold. Final. Like she was a tool, not a person. Amanda laughed nervously. Okay, sir. I'll wait. She left the hotel with her designer slippers clicking confidently on marble tiles, her phone vibrating with bank alerts, and her chest full of pride. But that pride didn't last long. Later that afternoon, Amanda stood in her bathroom, admiring herself in the mirror. She smiled at her reflection, still glowing from the thrill of money and attention, until something caught her eye. A small black dot had appeared on her collarbone. No pain. No itch. Just there, alone, watching her. Amanda stood in front of her bathroom mirror, her towel wrapped loosely around her waist, her eyes fixed on that one thing, a tiny black dot. It sat quietly on her collarbone. No bump. No pain. Just there. She rubbed it. Nothing happened. She scratched it lightly. Still nothing. Maybe a mosquito bite, she whispered, turning away. But even as she dressed, something about that dot bothered her. Amanda had flawless skin, she knew her body like a makeup kit. That dot didn't belong. By evening, she went to visit her friend Sandra, the same one who introduced her to hookup life. Babe, look at this thing, Amanda said, pulling down her top to reveal the black dot. Sandra squinted. Humene ordinary spot now. You don't chop too much suya. Amanda rolled her eyes. You're not even serious. They laughed it off. The night ended in shawarma and Instagram gossip, but the next morning, Amanda woke up and screamed. The single black dot had multiplied. There were now 3 crawling down her chest in a perfect triangle. She ran to the mirror. They weren't pimples. Not rashes. They looked like burn marks, small and circular. She touched them. Movement. Her heart nearly stopped. One of the dots wiggled, just slightly, like it had a life of its own. Amanda backed away, shaking her head. What kind of nonsense is this? She grabbed Dettol. Scrubbed. Rubbed. Used hot water, nothing worked. The dots refused to leave. That night, she couldn't sleep. She lay still in bed, wide-eyed, watching the ceiling, her body cold with fear. Around 3:17 a.m., Amanda heard a whisper. A breath. Inside her own room, she sat up sharply. Hello? She called out. Silence. Then the dots on her skin began to itch, not like normal itching, but as if something beneath her skin was trying to crawl out. Amanda jumped out of bed and rushed to the mirror. She gasped. The dots were swelling, tiny movements. She screamed, shaking, and whispered to herself, God, what did I sleep with? Amanda couldn't breathe properly. She was sweating and shivering at the same time. She paced her bedroom like a prisoner, whispering and scratching and staring at the mirror every 5 seconds. "Okay, Amanda. Think. Think." She muttered. She had no enemies. No sickness. No spiritual inheritance. Her family prayed every morning and night. So what was this? She picked up her phone and typed, "black dots moving under skin." The Google results made her heart freeze. Spiritual attachment. Witchcraft infestation. Demonic mark from intercourse. Her fingers dropped the phone. "No. No. No. I'm not mad," she said, backing away from the screen. Then her eyes landed on her bank app, the 5 million naira still shining proudly in her balance. She stared at it like it was a curse. That money. Was it really free? She sat down on the bed and remembered everything. Chief DD in the hotel, his calm stare, his mysterious silver ring. The way he said, "I'll call you when I need you again," like it was more of a warning than a promise. Suddenly, Amanda heard something. Whispers. But not from outside, from inside. She pressed her ear to her chest. Nothing. Then a soft crawling sound like nails dragging behind her ribs. Like footsteps inside her own body. Amanda panicked. She ran to the kitchen, grabbed sponge, hot water, vinegar, salt, Dettol, anointing oil, everything she could find. She began scrubbing her skin like it was dirt. Crying. Screaming. Praying, but the dots kept moving. That night, she did not sleep. She wrapped herself in wrapper, stayed sitting in one corner of the room, holding a Bible with one hand and insecticide with the other. By 4 a.m., Amanda saw something that broke her mind. A white thread came out of one of the dots. She stared in horror as it wiggled, then retracted back under her skin. She fainted, but not before whispering, "Whatever I slept with is still sleeping inside me." Amanda hadn't stepped out in 3 days. She locked her windows. She turned off her phone. The curtains never moved. Her hair was scattered. Her lips cracked. The only sound in the room was her slow breathing and the hum of fear growing louder each hour. She hadn't eaten. Couldn't eat. "Something is inside me," she whispered. "And I can't remove it." That morning, she forced herself up to brush her teeth. She stood in front of the mirror and raised her face to look at herself properly for the first time in days, but the girl staring back wasn't her. Amanda blinked, then stepped closer. Her reflection smiled, but she didn't. Amanda staggered backward. "What is this?" She stared again. This time, the reflection stood still, a copy of her. But her eyes were darker, and her skin had faint marks crawling up her neck like veins of smoke. Tears rolled down Amanda's cheeks. "This isn't me. No. This is not me." Then it happened. Her stomach rumbled, not from hunger, but from something moving inside her. She lifted her shirt. The black dots had grown larger. They had formed a shape, a circular pattern on her abdomen. Like a seal, her hands shook. "I'm not normal," she said, sobbing. Suddenly, GBOM. The bulb above her head burst. The room went dark. Amanda screamed. She grabbed her phone, used the flashlight, and ran to the bathroom. She splashed cold water on her face. Then she saw it. On the tiled floor. A maggot, crawling slowly, fat, white, fresh. She stepped back. Her heart raced. "God, what's happening to me?" Then another one. From her nose. Amanda shrieked, grabbed tissue, wiped it quickly, but it was too late. Something was growing inside her, and whatever it was, wasn't human. The next morning, Amanda finally went to the hospital. Doctors checked everything, blood work, scans, vital signs, but found nothing clear. One doctor rubbed his bald head and said, "This is not medical, this is mystery." When they wheeled her into the operating room, strange things began to happen. The lights flickered, the surgical scissors bent like rubber, the monitor shut off. The AC blasted cold, then hot. Within seconds, the doctors and nurses ran out, one by one. Amanda was left alone on the table, wrapped in white, eyes wide like saucers. She shouted, "Doctor! Nurse! Somebody come back!" Nobody answered. Outside, two nurses whispered, "Did you see that?" "Yes, so. That girl's case is spiritual." Amanda dragged her aching body off the table and ran out herself, barefoot in a hospital gown. Later that day, a bold nurse pulled her aside and said, "Go to Baba Aruko at Ajaro Shrine. This sickness didn't come from Earth." With no other option, Amanda followed the nurse's directions. The shrine smelled of burnt herbs and confusion. The chief priest stared at Amanda and said, "Ah, I see it. You offended the Marine husband." Amanda blinked. "Marine what?" The priest continued, "He gave you bride price through Chief DD. And you used it to buy makeup, powder, eyelashes, wigs. That was his money." Amanda scratched her head. "Is this spirit broke?" He ignored her and said, "You must return the money, all of it. Only then will you be free." The next morning, Amanda brought back the last 500k naira she had. The priest collected it and said, "I will burn this money. You must not touch it again. Once you get home, you'll be healed." Amanda nodded, hopeful. But 3 days later, her hair started falling off, her skin turned pale, her voice became faint like broken Wi-Fi. She looked like a walking ghost with lip gloss. Her friend came to visit and screamed, "Jesus! Amanda!" She ran out and came back with a young pastor holding olive oil and prayer fire. The pastor didn't ask too many questions. He prayed, fasted, and cast out whatever spirit was clinging to Amanda. She vomited black liquid, then collapsed. 3 hours later, she opened her eyes, healed, crying, and finally humble. Months later, Amanda moved into the church compound, shaved her head, wore long gowns, and started a program called Pretty Isn't Power, a masterclass for fast girls. Moral lesson: be careful what doors you knock on when chasing fast money, because not all open gates lead to peace. Some are spirit husband backdoors with receipts and expectations. Besties, if this story touched you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more interesting stories, more twists and real drama.